I have not been this invigorated and energized as to what is going on in my country and in my world and in the political sphere, the spectrum. I have never seen anything like this. From the Legulian point of view, geopolitical, legal, cultural, it is unbelievable. And if you had told me that Candace Owens, I say it again, Candace Owens would be this bicarbonate of soda to acetic acid, to the Mentos and Coke, this explosion, this fizzing, effervescent explosion of attention and focus and jealousy and rage concomitantly, while the American political structure, this left, right, and specifically the right, is disassembling. It is collapsing. It is in free fall. If you would have told me this, I'd said, you're out of your mind. This is unbelievable. I've never, look at me. That's why sometimes I just do these things. I just say, I got to go on. I'm just going to go on. I'm going to go live. Candace is in Russia now, and Larry Loomer is losing what is left of her shot. She's losing them. They're going crazy. They can't seem to get a handle on this. They can't, because they don't have any say in this. Now, before I completely lose my mind, let me tell you something. There is something very bad that is coming. Very bad. Geopolitically, economically, oil, energy, you name it. And the very first thing, whenever we talk about things like food and emergency, people, yeah. The number one thing you've got to do is, if you've got to get out of your house because of a flood, because of a riot, because of fires, because of whatever the hell it is, the very first, forget the MREs later on or the food. Do you have a bug out bag? Do you have something that's got everything in it? Not just you and your little banana chips. So let's throw this in there. Yeah, a couple of bucks, some flares. No. You want to buy the best in the business. So listen to me. Listen. And buy this, and take advantage of this deal. Listen. When disaster hits, you don't rise to the occasion. You fall back on what you already prepared. Wildfires, floods, hurricanes, tornadoes, blackouts, EMP and grid attacks, riots, disaster. Get it? And when the warning comes, there's no time to search for flashlights or bottled water or first aid supplies while your family waits at the door. That's why My Patriot Supply created the fully stocked bug out bag. You've got to get this. It's a rugged, grab-and-go tactical backpack packed with 60 emergency essentials, including food, water, shelter, fire, starting tools, lighting, first aid, and more. Everything is already packed and ready right out of the box. Keep one in your car, your home, your RV, your office, your cabin, because the emergencies never make appointments. And right now you can get $100 off plus free shipping for a limited time. So act now. There will be no special invitation in life. Disaster always comes unannounced. Get prepared now. Go to preparewithlionel.com. That's preparewithlionel.com and click the link today. My friend, I don't even know where to start with this, but let me tell you something. I don't even know where to start. So forgive me. I'm apoplectic. I'm frenetic. I'm whatever you want to call it. For those who have been watching actively in our particular realm, Erica Kirk is dead. Not physically, not actually. I hope she lives a long and healthy life. But nobody cares anymore. It's done. Who cares? Did you see what she said at the who cares? Yes, it's going to be lame. Yes, it's going to be stupid. Yes, she's going to make those crazy eyes. Yes, she's going to make some. Yes, 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 yes. We have officially had it. Nobody cares. It's enough. It's like that crazy relative where you say, oh, for Christ's sake, this and that. Oh, God. What's she up to? Oh, God. I'm bored with her. Whatever you do, just stay with TPUSA. Don't go to TPUSA. You've destroyed it. Next we'll worry about the Tyler Robinson case. But let me say this right from the beginning. It is official, and you will see it. They've run out of stuff to say. There's no excitement anymore. There's none. No matter what she says, she can say, okay, because she's just basically full of shit. She's making this stuff up. I don't know if she's evil, stupid, a combination of both, but nobody cares. So that is done with. That is done. Finished. TPUSA, good luck. They're going to drive that thing into the ground. It's boring. There's nothing there anymore. We've sucked every last drop, morsel, or molecule of interest from it. Nobody cares anymore. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. Whatever. She's going to meet with this one. No, this is a different story. You've got Candace Owens. This I don't even know. This is a Moriarty. You've got Sherlock Holmes, the whale, and I mean I don't even know what the analogy is. All of a sudden, out of nowhere, not out of nowhere. Excuse me. Well, sort of to some people, because they say, okay, yeah, Candace Owens, great. When she was with, Candace, I know you're probably not listening to me, but now, though she said some very nice things from what I hear, because she's smart. And she recognizes that I'm a different breed. I'm more dangerous because I just don't care. I don't care. And I've been through this so much. I've seen this before. But anyway, Candace Owens came along and she reminds me of something. And I want you to think about this. I want you to think about this thought experiment. Remember things in your life that you thought were disappointment. A relationship, boyfriend, girlfriend, job, something where you thought, a divorce, a relocation, a move, you didn't get this, you did get this, you got that. Okay, fine. And then later on, you realize that was the best thing that ever happened to me. That was the best thing that ever, and I didn't realize, oh my God. Had this thing, had this job, had this relationship not crumbled, I'd still be there. Oh my God. I have this, recently we had this thing. I did not attend. I could not muster any interest. I'm sorry. With the 50th anniversary of our high school. Nice. But I look at all these people and I thought, oh my God, I'd still be there. I'd be in Tampa. Oh no. I'll look like them. I'll act like them. I'll talk like them. The greatest thing that ever happened was this. Okay. So Candace was working by that same analogy. Candace was working at Daily Wire, right? With that Ben Shapiro. That sniveling twit. This titmouse. This absolutely, I don't know what he is. what is this? What am I doing with this? Anyway, he is this I don't know what he is. He's such a prick. Pardon my French. Because I'm going to just speak honest with you. I'm not going to. Listen. If I got a good word, I'll give you a good word. But my goal is communication, not to sugarcoat it or to provide this saccharine coating. He's a guy who just is so nobody likes him. He's weird. He talks funny. Not everybody's got the Robert Goulet intonations of yours truly. But he's weird. He speaks fast. And the eyebrows, he's just like, this guy's so weird. And finally, he just blew up. And I want to say to the very smart people of Israel, and I think, not the country, but the government of Israel, this was your guy? You picked this guy as your what? What? He was your spokesperson, so to speak? Was he on the Adelson crew? Was it this guy? He's a prick. Did you not know this? Who are the what? They're like this, this Piers Morgan reject crowd. You know Piers Morgan. Piers Morgan takes everybody who, for the most, listen, if you're on Piers Morgan, I hate to say it, with all due respect now, he's not trying to sell the truth. He wants you to go on and make a fool out of yourself or go crazy or yell or scream or whatever it is. That's all this guy wants. That's all he wants. So he was this group. So anyway, this was a Daily Wire. Dennis Prager, bless his heart, Dennis Prager, I wish him nothing but the best. But this guy is as boring as the day is long. If you wanted to, and again, Dennis, because he had the accident, bless his heart, but even in his prime, if you wanted to reverse teen pregnancy, have Dennis Prager describe the sex act, and nobody would do it. Nobody would want to do it. Nobody would want to get near it. He's boring. He's boring. There's this, do you know how sometimes, when Candace talks about her Catholicism, and by the way, she never knew, obviously by virtue of her age, what it was like to be raised in a Catholic school in the 60s. It was great. It was like Dungeons and Dragons meets The Exorcist. It's like, wow. It was it's weird. Anyway, but when Candace speaks to you about her faith, she doesn't browbeat you. Can you imagine if oh my God, if Ben Shapiro browbeat you, he'd kill you. With those brows are like, you could put him in a car wash. But when Dennis Prager speaks, he's pedantic. He's speaking in this grandiloquence, and this fulsome narrative. She never does that. So anyway, back to where I was originally going. So when they booted her from the Daily Wire, good, best thing that ever happened to you. That's what set you off. Tucker, Fox News, the worst thing for you to be there with Jesse Waters and Hannity doing the Sean Ryan imitation. Oh, have you seen the show? It's a shell of a shell of a shell. It's a shell. It's like, I can go walnut. You've got the shell and you got the nut and then you got the dust from the nut and then you have the ribs inside. It's like, it's not even the shell. It's this crap that was inside. Fox News is so bad, but they don't even know it. And they got these wallpaper. They got these, I don't know who these people are, but they just, Tucker, this is where you would have been. Tucker's he's elevated to a level he didn't even know existed. You know when it's great is like when like in the 70s when jazz really exploded, there was this wild stuff that came. You remember when Chick Corea and CTI Records and A Return to Forever and Joe Zawinul and Weather Reports and all this stuff say, what is this stuff? And even, I mean, it was like, it was, you know, when Turrentine and everybody else. Well, that's kind of what we're seeing right now. I don't know what you want to call Tucker. I don't know what you want to call Candace. But this is like this part where we're enjoying this newfound, I don't know what it is, this new experience of politics. So Candace, if you had been at the Daily Wire, you'd be nowhere. They should have never let you go. They should have kept you, put you under contract, NDAs, and shut you up because they're so stupid. They let you go and you blossomed. It's like taking the seeds from some encroaching vine and spraying them into an area. It's like, what are you doing? Same thing with Tucker. So then you have this nemesis. Then you have somebody who is bat shit crazy. I mean, and this is why Larry Loomer. I'll say Larry Laura. She is in so much need. Let me tell you why this is good. First of all, it's great for us because she, you know, professional wrestling is my metaphor for everything. I've told you this case. You just tune in. When I got out of law school, and I was waiting to pass the bar. You take it in July, and you got to wait till like November, and so I'm sitting around, and I worked with a fellow named Gordon Soley. I worked with NWA, and I was doing a lot of stuff with the boys, you know, and the business, and I learned it, and I knew the baby face and the heel. And bringing heat and it changed my life. It's like this is life. This is life. This is exactly what we're trying to do. This is precisely what life is about. This is politics. This is life. This is love. This is romance. This is history. This is everything. But you need a heel, and the heel makes everything. The heel makes the baby face. It's weird because sometimes a baby face sometimes doesn't really. The really good ones were like part heel, part like Dusty Rhodes, I think the greatest ever, and then Hulk Hogan was heel, but he was baby face, but still kind of, you know, superstar Billy Graham. Well, Candace is pure baby face. She's the good guy. She loves you. You love her. Look at this. Would Ben Shapiro do better with a mustache? Yes, one of those Sam Elliott, those prospector. You know what I mean? Okay. But thank you. This is what I'm trying to tell people. Tucker's a good egg. We were on one time on MSDNC like years ago. He cut. I don't know if he knows who I am, but But do people love him? Yeah, but they love Candace. Just because you're great to listen to. Trading Pennies, thank you so much. That means the world to me. People love Candace. Let me say that again. Love. Now, people who don't like her, we'll get to that in a moment. But when you like her, oh. My wife, Mrs. Ellen, and I were in some store, and they had Pepperidge Farm Milanos. And we said, Milanos! I love those. Those were like, whoa, that's what she is. She's like the Milanos. She's like, nobody's like, well, okay. You know what I mean? People love her. Now, I'm sitting back and I'm saying, I've never seen this before. Tucker, great man, but they don't love. This is, Candace is like, what would you say? She's your sister. She's your neighbor. She's like your big sister. She's like the cool. She's like the cool. This is weird. Most men I've been very, very lucky, and I've had far too many, few of them, but to have women friends, buddies, nothing, you know what I mean? Because it's always the way it is. That always gets in the way. But I've known some, oh my God, I've known one for 40 plus years, and she is just, oh, filthy. We're like two, like two. She's got this great sense of humor. Candace could be that friend that men could have that says, you know what, she's great, she's cool, I like her, I love her, and you're happy for her. And you know what? You know who must be a pretty cool here is old George Farmer, her husband. He must be. You better have your shit together when your wife is Candace Owens. I mean, you better really, and I think he does. He must say, "That's okay. That's okay." It's like Maggie Thatcher's husband. You know, those are the guys. That's okay. Those are the cool ones. People who are the husbands of, you know, powerful women. And, you know, I've really thought about this. And people love her. They love her. And when she's happy, we're happy. When she talks about her babies, we're happy. And that's good. And that's great. But you ever see one of these cars? You can say, you know, I got this car. Do you ever open her up? I mean, do you ever really hit the gas? Not really. How fast is it going? I don't know. I'm not really sure. Okay. You like, there's Candace. Oh, she's sweet. She's your pal. Oh, there's Candace. Sweet Candace, you know. And then somebody will come along and fuck with her. This is like, sit back. Now you're going to see something. Yeah. Remember when you heard the stories about the honey badger? Remember that? We would say, what the hell is that thing? Oh, you don't want to mess with that. With that? What is that? What is that, a rat? Oh, no. No. That's a honey badger. What kind of a name is that? A badger. He's badgering you. He's pestering. What kind of a... No. Give me something like a Tasmanian devil. Bad bullshit. Watch the honey badger. By the way, do you know, interestingly enough, do you know what alligator? No, like cats, regular cats, your cat, they're like they're not fearless, but they don't understand that they're still feral. The way they go after like alligators. I mean, crazy. All right, I'm getting off key here. So here comes somebody. Here's a Candace. She's so nice. It's like, watch this. Yeah, watch. Here comes Laura Loomer. Larry. This poor thing, I don't know what she's been through. I don't know what her story is. I don't know anything about it. All of a sudden she says, Larry, of all the people around you want to fuck around with, who is it? She says, Candace Owens. And I would say, no. Wait. Sit down. Pick somebody else. How about Megyn Kelly? That's more your speed. Maybe. Megyn Kelly's not tough. She's okay, but no. How about even Anna Kasparian, who's pretty tough, but you can handle her, you know, because her secret is she just loses her shit. She goes crazy. Candace doesn't do that. Pick somebody else. No, I want Candace. No. Sit down, Larry, Laura, whatever. Look, I know you're confused. You were a Christian, now you were a Jew. I don't know what the hell you were. I have no idea what I don't know. I don't know anything. I don't even know if there's so much. I don't know if this work is done. I mean, you're a woman. I don't know anything. Did you see that poor guy she got supposedly in the bar where she nailed this poor guy? I thought she was going to rape this guy. I was like, geez. I mean, there's aggression, and then there's you run for the hills. In any event, So it's like, okay, last chance. You sure you want to go after Candace? Because Candace will eat you alive, regurgitate you like cud, eat you again, dissolve you, and right before you're completely digested and ready to be, she'll save one little kernel of you just to, she will destroy you. And she'll do things and maintain this cool to make you lose your shit. And invariably, no, I want Candace Owens. Okay, here we go. And it's been, do you know how nothing has stuck? She's going after her husband, and her husband was involved in a missing nine nurses with Richard Speck. I'm exaggerating. It's like, wait a minute, what? Who? Yes, Candace's husband. He's a rapscallion. He's a George Farmer? I don't know, Joe. I don't know these people. I've never met any of these people. But I'm pretty good about this. I think if I ever had the dignity, oh, there's Raul. Raul says, Candace is like a honey badger, fearless. That's exactly right. And also, Raul, you don't, to look at her, you don't think, it's like a coral snake. You ever see that in Florida? The coral snake. It's like, oh, it's pretty good. No. It looks like the king snake, but it's not. It doesn't even have hybrid. It doesn't attack you. It just bites you. It's like chews you. You got to cut its head off. It's like, damn, this thing is like determined. Anyway, she's also like the pit viper, like the moccasin. Oh yeah, moccasins are so bad that when you're, in the stream, like you're Homosassa, whatever, you're in Florida, you're in a canoe. They hang from the tree, and they'll drop into your boat, and they'll come after you. And they hold a grudge. They're like pissed off. A lot of the snakes run from you. Not a moccasin. No. And I'll get back. But listen, this is why I love the moccasin. Normally, when you get bit by a poisonous snake, a venomous snake, you have neurotoxin, hemotoxin, myotoxin, nerve, blood, muscle that'll destroy muscle. It has all of that, but it's the only snake that eats carrion. Most snakes will not eat anything that's dead. Their mouths are sterile because they'll figure that thing's dead. I'm not going to eat it because it was sick, or I want something fresh. That's why you've got to give live mice to ogres. Not a moccasin. It'll eat anything. So not only do you have neurotoxin, hemotoxin, myotoxin, but you also have tetanus. You'll die from the most rancid infections. That's Candace, with all due respect. Let's get Lionel, 500,000 and more. Sagacious, hilarious, learned, experienced. We are blessed. Oh, I'm with you. Oh, 500,000. Well, you gave me a 400,000. That's wonderful. That'd be terrific. Thank you. I like your style. But anyway, she goes after George, and then she goes after Candace's little baby. I don't know which one, but, and you know me, don't mention family at all. I wouldn't mention the number of kids you have, their names, nothing. But that's me. Okay. So Candace is like, okay, now you've done it. Yeah. You went after her husband, who again looks like I get the impression like he's an English gentleman, like he wears tweed and has a meerschaum and says pip, pip, and cheerio. He likes, anyway. I'm not trying to do these Anglophilic. Anyway, so she says, "Okay, watch this," and then Candace sits back and says, "Okay, well let's take what you've said. Number one, you don't know what you're talking about. Number two, she doesn't lose her. She doesn't even bat an eye. She doesn't break a sweat. Candace doesn't even care. Say, okay. Well, this is not true. This is not true. And he goes, well, we went to the Vatican. Why? Because you went to the Vatican. I know people because you wanted to get confirmed. By the way, Candace didn't tell us what's your confirmation name. I was Thomas Aquinas. Anyway, so you got a name. But they made it out. She was meeting with the who knows? I read a litany, a veritable bill of particulars that Candace had released, but all the accusations, the Southern Poverty Law Center, or this and that. You were meeting with the Vatican Bank. What is this? This is like Godfather 3. What? Remember John Paul the First? Remember him? They took care of him. Remember that? Anyway, they're making this stuff up, and then she's going to go to Russia. I know people who go to Russia all the time. My buddy Rick Sanchez loves it. Loves it. And my whole thing is, can it get closer? Can you move Russia over a little bit? It might be nice, but it's a little far away. I'm funny about that. I'm kind of set in my ways, but people go to Russia all the time. Not for Larry, because she's going to go for who knows what. Meanwhile, and you know that guy, what's his name? This son of a, anyway, he's such a twit. It's not even worth going after. When I say going after, I don't go after anybody. There's one thing about me, I do not get upset with people. It doesn't bother me. It just, I'm sorry. It just doesn't. I don't get upset, which makes me a little bit dangerous as well, because I just don't get upset. I don't get upset. But anyway, but there's, these people who, oh God, where is this? Was it called The Rising? What is this guy? It's the Hill, the Hill. I got to get this guy's name. Robbie something. Robbie. I don't know what. Robbie something. Remember, Crystal Ball used to be on the Hill. I think, I don't know who else used to be on the Hill. Hang on a minute. I'm sorry. This is my. I'm very funny about. I have to know what the hell I'm talking about. I have this penchant, this penchant. Okay, yes, it is called. This is very. By the way, this is very, very good. This is Sagar and Jetty is good. Who's also good with that? The Jeremy Scahill is very, very good. Breaking Point, very, very good. They were fantastic. Crystal Ball, fantastic. But anyway, this guy, this Jadrul, I don't know who he was. He's on I guess he's doing this. They have this guy with this really thick Irish accent. If you start telling him, "Oh, your man, in the full time with Mr. Putin. And if I were trying to find a way, it's like a pirate. It's like, what is this? Anyway, so this guy Robbie's on. And this guy Robbie. Oh, look, before I get to that. Not to get off the subject, but I'm glad that the Senate stopped the Trump's ballroom funding. People don't need more tax debt. What nerve? I don't understand. I don't understand the president. I don't understand it. I don't know. Say, Mr. President, what happened to you? Are you okay? Are you okay? Are you okay? Seriously, dude, as the kids say, are you? So anyway, so back to what I was saying. So I said the other day, so here's Candace. So first of all, you got that stupid Sean Penn, who I heard is not doing very, he didn't look well. Have you noticed this poor guy, bless his heart, he's getting the worst rhinophyma anybody's ever seen. Have you ever seen that? You ever seen, you get that caramel, you get those nose, you know who got a Geraldo, the sebaceous glands, it's called rhinophyma. It just grows up, you get that bulbous thing. It's kind of like acne rosacea, kind of sort of, but the nose. When you get older, your ears get bigger, your nose. But anyway, this guy, he always his hair all fucked up because he was, and plus there was a picture of him sitting next to Zelensky, that coke addled, who made his, listen to me, who made his bones playing the piano with his dick. Pardon my French. I'm sorry. You know the story about Kolomoisky and Zelensky. By the way, the cool way Zelensky ends with two Y's, not just one, two. So this fraud that they picked to represent the whatever it is, they get him there. And lo and behold, here comes Sean Penn. Now, I don't know anything about Sean Penn. But you know what one little scenario wouldn't surprise me? It wouldn't surprise me if U.S. AID, for years basically funded Hollywood, bought them, took Sean when he was doing all that weird Haiti stuff, the same way Oprah with her little, whenever you hear things like orphanages, people who are refugees, and Haiti with the Clintons. So let's assume, and I'm just opining, but let's assume Sean Penn, he has a big debt with these people. And let me also tell you something. These people don't make the money you think they're making. Oh, no. Sorry. Same with athletes, same with whatever. You think you do. The more you have, the more they take. So let's say you're going to go to Zelensky and you're going to bring your Oscar. I don't know if he gave him the Oscar or whatever it was, but there's Sean standing there. The vascularity in his arm, what does that mean? Guys who are, in their 60s or pretty near do not have huge snake-like vascularity. And let me tell you something, men, about human growth hormone, or any type of testosterone. Listen to me and listen carefully. Most men, I'll get back to Candace, but I'm glad we're on this subject with this. Most men will die with with nascent, kind of underdeveloped prostate cancers. If you live long enough, men, you're going to get a prostate cancer. It's the slowest acting, fat, thyroid, a lot of good results. But a lot of stuff is kind of dormant. So what happens was, men, when you get to be a little older, by the way, people say, oh, your testosterone is dropping. No. Right. Do you have a beard? Yes. Your testosterone is just fine. There are people who basically have had, after they've had an orchiectomy, a castration, then you want to see low T, watch that one. So men have this idea that somehow when they get older, there's, my testosterone. That ain't it. Sorry, buddy boy. That ain't it. So they think that I'm gonna boost. Okay. Other people will take steroids or whatever for body mass and all this stuff. Now, here's the bottom line. Let's say there's this kind of dormant cancer floating around there saying, I'll never grow up. This guy's 60 years old. Shit, at the rate I'm going, I'll never come to fruition. I'll never become metastatic. I'll never grow. Ho-hum. Then one day they said, hey, what's that? You smell that? Yeah. Is this guy he's taking steroids? At his age? We got a chance. And then all of a sudden, these little dormant cancers, these little tumors, little cancers that would have never grown up, never seen the light of day, now by virtue of this influx of this wild, because this guy wants to be, Ken Waller in his later years. So and then it also makes you crazy. And these things put you back into, ready for this? Puberty, pubescence. That's why they knew Mark McGuire was taking something, because he had zits on his back. So if you're crazy and you had violence problems, and maybe when you kind of get older, the same way when you sleep, you go into a kind of a REM sleep where you become paralyzed. So your body does not allow you to act out. Normally, rage issues do not get worse when you get older. They kind of tamper down. So when you start taking these hormones and the like, you'll put yourself into a kind of like a modified puberty and make you crazy again. Make you crazy. And loud and So that's Sean Penn. Look at him. So I know that was a long description, but so they sent him. Nobody said anything. Then you got that Ben Stiller. I don't even know what the hell Ben Stiller is about. He went there. And then you got that human scum, Jane Fonda, who went to Vietnam. And they're giving Candace shit. She went to Vietnam. She met with she sat in anti-aircraft guns that probably shot down American planes. And the rumor has it, well, I'm not sure about that. I'm going to verify this, about people trying to slip her notes and say, help me, get this to my family, or they're torturing us. And she gave it up because she was one of these lunatic lefties who just did not have any sense of propriety. Not only did they allow this, not only was she not prosecuted for violating the Logan Act or aid and comfort, actual treason. Aid and comfort to the enemy? This is it. No, she's considered one of the left's darlings. Think about that. Think about what we're talking about. So this Robbie from this, whatever he goes, there was a lot of people in the old days who gave her grief and say, listen, punk, you weren't even alive then when this happened. We were here. Number two, the people who were giving her grief were American soldiers that nobody listened to. And the right wing and the like. So you mean to tell me that Larry Loomer is given... This is what? Candace is a spy? She goes there with her husband. Hey, I'm in Russia. Not exactly Russia with love. Ian Fleming was no, tone this down. She's not Kim Philby. She's not the Cambridge Five. She's not... No. But you get this. What they do is like they let... Remember Mongo from Blazing Saddles? That's Laura Loomer. Or they open up the pen and this Tasmanian devil screams and yells and just goes, and Daily Mail loves it. And this is the only thing that Laura Loomer has is because of knowing to be this person who's batshit crazy. Well, here comes Candace. She's loving this. So today she's at the SPIEF, the International Economic Forum. And I don't know if she's going to speak, but please get a picture with Putin. They won't have a meltdown. But if it was somebody else, no problem. Steven Seagal, nobody cares. Why can't you meet with Putin? Why? Had they met with Xi Jinping, nobody would have cared. Or anybody else for that matter. But Zelensky, he played the organ with his neck. How many times did you ever think in your life growing up that one day there would be an actual wannabe warlord who's just a punk, who basically was this sock puppet for NATO and Victoria Nuland? And you would say, in addition to your usual quiver of complaints, that he played the electric piano with his dick. Did you ever think be honest? Did you ever say, this is going to be really? Yes. Candace, you go, girl. You go. Now, the rest of the people are saying, because there is nobody. And they love her there. There was a picture she posted. She was with a young lady who just was, Candace, you're my hero. And here's the best part. I tell her, I think this DEI stuff's pretty damn good. Why? Well, that's why I like Candace. Now, I'm kidding now, mind you. Why is it? Well, she's black, she's a woman, and she's pretty damn smart. So you know what? I think there's something to this. She's into diversity. She's pretty diverse. To have this smart black woman, and by the way, never comes up. And people are going, no. So women, no, this is DEI, right? This is what you wanted, right? No. Wait a minute. This is a woman. I don't think anybody's bigger than she is. Can you think of anybody bigger than her? I mean, you might have some people with different numbers, but I don't know if that really matters. And by the way, Joe Rogan, they're going after Joe because they're jealous. But anyway, who? But Alex Jones? at his height, not height. No. Tucker, no, no. And the best part is that between you and me, her gender, who cares? It doesn't even come up. I don't even think about it. Do you? Do you ever say, well, you know, she is a black woman? No, because it's irrelevant. That's like her being, is she right or left-handed? I don't know. It's irrelevant. How tall is she? I don't know. It's irrelevant. I don't know. That's what it is. Whatever, I guess. And you know who's really, 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 thank you, Kelly Bella. You know who's really going crazy? Megan Kelly. Oh, speaking of Kelly. Oh. She doesn't know what she wants to be. If you want to see one of the best smartasses ever, is Maureen Callahan. The best. Watch her. I don't know the name. She has a show. Oh my God. She's fantastic. She is brutal. Hang on. Maureen Callahan. She's like if you really want the dirt. There we go. Maureen Callahan. It's called The Nerve. She is just so brutal. Oh God. Then watch her. She's phenomenal. Absolutely great. There's these other ones too. These two women, I don't know the name of them. And they're kind of leftist, but they're great. Let me tell you one thing about me. Listen to me. If you're smart and your presentation is really good, have you noticed also a little bit? I'm not trying to speak out of turn. Have you noticed like Dave Smith just doesn't like he just lost his thing? By the way, who are the help me? She's on YouTube. Yes, original time. Who are the two women? They're left. One's got glasses. They'll go after Trump. They'll go after people you like, but they're great. What is the name? It's a name like the geniuses, the two. You know who I'm talking about? See, I think talent is talent. If you're really good at what you're doing, sometimes there are people who do this anti-Trump and anti-Republican. I'm not a Republican. I think it's funny because it's good. It's not just mean-spirited. You know who I'm talking about? These two? Maybe you don't know. One has dark hair, brunette kind of. The other one is she has black glasses, and they're not in the same place. They are different. Anyway, Megan Kelly. Dave Smith. Dave Smith. He's not going to go back to. He's like too. You notice that he's like too serious. It's like, what happened? Candace never does that. It doesn't hurt you to watch Candace. When Candace is very, very serious about something, it's never. That's like I hope with me. I hope you never feel like I can't watch this guy. Why? He's so angry all the time. Makes me feel. No, I mean, you know, we'll talk about it. I mean, sometimes certain things will really, especially if they hurt children, I kind of lose myself. But I don't do that all the time. But Dave Smith is whatever. Ian Carroll, I liked him too. He was. Candace will not be president. It will destroy her. It will destroy her worth. It will destroy her power. It will destroy everything. President is not the way to go. You go there to be destroyed. You go there to do everybody's bidding, and you go there. You have nothing of your original. And by the way, proud to be a simp like that is okay, but no. You will never be. You will not be able to do what you want to do. She's not interested in politics, but not in terms of being a politician, but she, of course, is into politics. Absolutely. But see, what happens is there's this thing right now. You had all these folks, and they were all. October the 7th changed everything. October the 7th changed. October the 7th is September the 10th. Last year, October the 7th, 2023, and September the 10th last year. Charlie, September the 10th, October the 7th. October the 7th, by the way, was when the whole world was behind Israel. Whole world 100%. It was like after 9/11, everybody. Do you know after 9/11? Do you remember after 9/11, the Putin called up and said to Bush, I can help you. I know where these people are. They're in the Caucasus. These people are crazy. Remember when a speed bump and flashbang? Howie Carr's great name for that. Speed bump and flashbang. You know, the Tsarnaev brothers. Putin said, I know who they are. Our FSB, we know. By the way, that was their KGB. They're very proud of that. They're just the way we're proud of CIA and whatever. People think that that KGB is like evil or anyway. So we said no. So there was a candlelight vigil in Tehran after 9/11. We squandered all that because because the president doesn't listen. George Bush listened to the neocons. George Bush listened to the PNAC group, Project for a New American Century, and all these folks, Leo Strauss's. And Trump came in, and basically they came in and they said, Adelson, AIPAC, whatever, Jared, they said, here's what you're going to do. Okay. And we went from America now to I don't know what it is. I don't know. It's the most convoluted, messed up. And Trump has destroyed his legacy. Destroyed it. And that's going to hurt him more than anything else. And everything they're doing. Did you hear Ivanka talk about her Albanian island? Makes me want to throw up. They are so disconnected. It's like you had it. Now you're doing this. UFC it's trashy, it's low rent. No, sorry. You've got time to undo this. I don't know who you're listening to, whom you're listening to. But Megyn Kelly doesn't know what to do. She doesn't know what to do. Megyn Kelly, deep down inside, wishes she were back at Fox. It's the easiest thing in the world. You make a shitload of money, you get hair and makeup, and you're on for what? 1 hour a day? That's it. See ya. This is different. Some people don't really want this is my gut feeling. They don't want the independent. It's a lot of work. It's you got to hire your own team. I don't have a team. I'm the team. Anyway. So, and it shows, by the way, but they don't, she doesn't have that. What's the word? She just doesn't. And Candace looking at her like, So she was so happy when Trump mentioned her. Remember the brainless, the no talents, the brain dead. Imagine calling Tucker. What do they call him? Not semi-retarded, but something like that. But Candace and Alex Jones, and then he threw in Megyn Kelly, and Megyn was like so thankful, thank you. She threw me in, but Megyn doesn't have her. He's almost Sean Ryan. Did you hear that simpy thing? Did you hear this? First of all, somebody needs to say no. Just like in professional wrestling, you got to have somebody who writes the storyline. They go no, Megyn, no, stop. We don't. You want to be? I wanted to be the peace broker. I want to broker the peace. What are you, Kissinger? Between Erica and Candace. It's like, first of all, do you want peace? Does anybody here want peace between Erica and Candace? No. We want this mudslinging backstab. We love that shit. Number two, making peace with her doesn't make any difference. Candace doesn't need her. Candace doesn't need her. Candace doesn't need Erica. Why does she want to make peace? No. Erica's been divisive, horrible. No, but this. But she's always Sean Ryan. Sean Ryan doesn't know what he wants to do. Because this Navy, let me tell you something. This Navy SEAL shit is so boring. We've done it. We've heard it. Okay, I know you killed the people, and the guy comes out, he's covered with tattoos. You were Delta. Well, okay. We shot him up. Yeah. What did you like? The Glock? Well, I like the Glock. Okay, that's good. Did you like the M4? Yeah. We've done this. Just like this mob stuff. The mobs. Have you noticed the mob? Michael Franzese. What can this man? Very smart man. What can he possibly say? You know, Roy DeMeo. Oh, please stop it. The Gemini Lounge. Okay, I know. It's this thing. Zamet says, Joan of Arc, Candace. No, first of all, she's not a martyr. Thank you. I thank you for that. No, no, no. Let me tell you what Candace does. First, Candace will have to have something that is her passion. It might be children. It might be, and by the way, thank you for that, for your seriously, your super chats. I appreciate them so much. Seriously. She needs something that children, whatever it is. Okay. Candace has to tell you what you need to know. You see, if you're going to go, the moment you step into the White House as president, it's over because you've got the country to run. All of your aspirations, 50% of the country doesn't want that. It's not what it is. It's not what it is. If Candace did the following, there's an election that's very important. It's Spencer Pratt in LA. Sometimes things are just symbolic. Spencer Pratt against that horrible Karen Bass. Spencer Pratt's this guy that came along and he said, I'm not a Republican. I don't know what I am. I'm for common sense. Remember the 3 issues I told you repeatedly that we have to remind everybody of. Number 1, America, not America first. America only. Not America first, America only. America only. America only. Nobody gives a shit about Iran, Hezbollah, Lebanon. We're not interested in that. You know what? Have a nice day. Do the best you can. We're busy right here. Same thing with Ukraine. Same thing with it. We're busy. Yeah, you're a bad guy. Okay, good. Okay, next move along. They're all bad guys. Yes, you're evil. Okay, you're evil. All right, you're evil. All righty. Fair enough. Next, move along. If you don't think, if you have any doubt as to who ran this Iranian thing, if you think this was either in the best interest of the country or that Marco Rubio, remember the time Marco Rubio said, he says, let me tell you something. Look at this, my own 911. Thank you. Jennifer Welch and Angie, the show is called, oh, is this I've Had It? I don't. Wait a minute. No, but they're good too. They're very good. No, I'm trying to think of these. That's the one where, who is the woman who looks like her eyes are missing? Have you noticed that one? Is it something that says she has no eyes? I know that's cruel, but that's the way I describe it. People say, you know, the woman with no eyes. Oh yeah, right. I'll try to think of the other one. I'm so sorry. But anyway. This country, we're just through with it. So if Candace Owens continues with this and says, listen, this is just the way it is. Who do you think has done more to dissuade, to redirect our country regarding, see, I would do the whole thing. I would do it completely different. Completely differently. First of all, I would never, ever, ever use the word Zionism. Ever. Why? Don't have to. Why do you want to complicate somebody? Why? Do you want most people to understand it? Yeah. Don't use that word. Throws them off. Zionism. Is this a religion? No. Because you're always going to have to be just no. Zionism is where no. Israeli has a foreign. No. This is the official country of it. Stick to something simple. Ask somebody a question. What difference does it matter? We don't have enough money. We don't have enough money for us. Start with it very, very simple. We don't have enough money for us. Anybody caring for us about us? Do you know how much this costs? Very, very simple. Don't say things like religion, Israel, Judaism. But like, don't even say, ask them a simple question. It's none of our business. Remember Vietnam? Yeah, it's just Vietnam again. You're right. Stop it. Just look at their faces. I got it. Make it very, very simple. Very, very, very simple. For Hallow says, if you were called a prophet, professor, don't condescend to be, I like this, to be a king or a queen. Loving Candace and Lionel and Tucker, Mrs. L. Thank you so much. That is beautiful. I love that one. My man Lionel, look at this. Ronald White, thank you so much. See, I want to explain to people. I want to persuade it. See, I'm a trial lawyer. I want to persuade you. I don't want to teach you anything. I want to persuade you. I want you to do what I want. I don't care about teaching you. Sometimes if I teach you, you might go off and go, hey, I didn't know that. And then I lose you. It's like, no. It's not what I'm trying to do. You don't even have to get to that. Don't bring things up. How many times have we said, this is not about race. This is about performance. This is not about religion. This is about priorities. This is not about anti-Semitism. This is about calling it the way it is. See? Just get rid of those names. Get rid of those names. This is not about, no. The other day we're walking around the street. I don't know about you, but we have every now and then somebody will say, and I was talking to a friend of mine. I mentioned this the other day. We have here in New York, by the way, the traffic today. I was driving Mrs. L down 57th Street from the east side. You have not lived. You don't know. Maybe in Mexico City, it must be tough. It is combat driving. And I've got a Yugo, by the way. It's a stretch. It's a classic because people stare at it all the time. But anyway. But you have to realize that there are people who will do what you say, but you want them to understand it. So I'll give you an example. There was a guy who was there, and they sell, they have these dirty water dogs. They have these vendors, in the corners. They have these sell nuts and this and pretzels. And one guy had his, and you see it a lot. They'll take his rug out, and he'll pray. And I thought that was great. And then we were walking, and there was a young woman, covered head to toe. Not really a black hijab, but it was a veil and whatever. So we were talking about this. I said, you see that? I said, what does that look like to you? What does that look like to you? I said, what do you see? Tell me what you see. Tell me what you see. He said, well, I said, I think we have a Muslim influx. Okay. I said, you know what I see? I said, this is the woman who is devoted to her faith. Now, what's the chance of that woman and her family ever robbing you, hurting you, anything? I said, no. See that guy over there? Yeah. That guy doesn't have any religion. That guy doesn't have any family. That guy didn't have any father. And you can fill in the blanks you want or do the math or whatever you want. That's what I'm saying. I said, see that guy there? See the one guy who's a panhandler? Yeah. He doesn't have religion. See those people? They're not on welfare. They're not going to bother you. They're not going to bother you or hurt you. Now, they're going to buy stores, and they're going to take over, and they don't speak any English. But that guy over there who was born here, that's the guy you got to worry about. That's the guy who's going to rob you. That's the one who's going to hurt you. Anytime you see somebody who believes in a faith, for the most part, I know there's always some. That's a very good thing. I said, now, stop for a second. Now, let's say this woman with the veil, all of a sudden she wants to take over the entire city hall. And everybody in local government is Muslim and wants to convert it to Sharia. Now we got a problem. So do you see what happens? Things always change. There's this, then this can happen, then that can happen. It's in flux. America is a sick patient. It'll never be well. It'll just be less sick. There's always something affecting it, either internal, external. We got to keep the patient alive, and we'll thrive a little bit. We just want to get through. Okay? And what Candace can do is Candace can say very, very simply something where more people will come to her and flock to her than you've ever seen. Do you remember the time, I've said this a million times, when all of a sudden people said, I want to get a tattoo? Overnight. Sometimes people who their skin is so dark, depending upon their particular race or ethnicity, because you don't see Punjabi Indians with this, but sometimes you can. Do you ever see somebody who's got like a tattoo? It's like, what is that? Jimmy Walker said it's like skywriting at night. So much of a fad, people who can't even see because the colors are not very. All right. I want to know, what's that fad? Everybody tell me, how's that fad? I want to make Candace a fad. I want to make America first and America only a fad. How do we make it? You need somebody of renown to say, this is cool. Will Candace ever make it in the black community? No. Portions of it, but not really. Why? Because she is up against a committed and determined black, leftist, prototypical Al Sharpton. You know that music and entertainment are very, very critical, and they'll never give her the time of day. That's okay. We're patient. Doesn't really matter. Not going to win them anyway. But understand her power. Understand her power. And remember, do yourself a favor. Go to all of your friends and say, you know, I'm surprised you don't like Candace. She's DEI. She's not DEI. But just say that. She's a black woman. Answer a question. Raise of hands. Yes is the number 1. 2 is the number no. 2 is the number no. How about no is number 2? That's even better. Okay, here's a question. If the answer is yes, push 1. If the answer is 2, no, press 2. Okay, now, does it matter to you that Candace Owens is a woman? Yes or no? If you say yes, one of the main reasons I'm listening to Candace Owens is because she's a woman. If somebody else said what she said, I don't know. But the fact is she's a woman. Does it matter to you that she's a woman? Do you listen to her and go, yes, I listen to her because she's a woman? If the answer is yes, push number 1. Now, to me, most people would say, no, it doesn't even matter. I mean, it's, yeah, okay, I recognize it, but no, it's not. Is it safe to say if anybody said what Candace said, you would agree as well? You'd say, yes, but you don't know if you'd love her. You don't know if you would be this smitten by her, but I don't know why. What I'm saying is, you're not smitten with Candace because she's a woman. You're not smitten with Candace because of what she says. You love her because of who she is, her personality, her affect, her giggle, her smile, her expressions. All right, guys, whatever it is, the things you love about her, stuff that she does, stuff that she does. Do you ever try to tell somebody why you love your spouse? If I said to you, if I said the reason why I love my wife is, I would demean it. Like, there's no reason. I can't, because of the way you, no, that's nice, but that's not it. It's this. This. I don't know about him. I don't know what that is. Now, let me ask you this question. Do you listen to her? Does it matter to you that Candace is black? Do you ever have to say, you know, she's black? Oh, you're right. Does that matter to you? Does it matter the fact she's black? No. I mean, okay. I will tell you that normally the very, 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 very first thing in our culture is language, affect, patois, accent, delivery, frame of reference. Candace sometimes will, I don't think she has ever, you know how sometimes people when you, I've got some, Italian friends, and they're very, very, they speak very professorial, but when they want to make a point, when they want to say like all of a sudden, they'll say something that, like the other day we went to an expression, and somebody was saying, it was a black woman speaking very, very articulate, and then all of a sudden she was trying to say something, and just for a moment, when she wanted to make something, she used the word OG or something, but she said it in a way that showed an urban patois, urban vernacular. Have you ever heard Candace ever do that? Have you ever heard Candace in a moment of I don't know what, ever indicate an urban delivery, an urban patois? Has she ever been confused for, I don't know what the word is. No. I haven't heard it. Do you know what I'm saying? Do you know what I'm saying? Have you ever heard it? Have you ever, for any minute, ever used a black colloquialism, urban, ever heard it? I've never heard it. Never. Never. Now, do you know what that is? To me, it's like, I don't give a shit. Have you ever heard Henry Kissinger? No. I mean, his whole thing. Trump doesn't either. A lot of people don't do it. And that drives a certain contingency of the black viewership, drives them nuts, because you're not at least paying lip service, any kind of gratuitous reference to the fact of your negritude. Now let's talk facts here. She says, I don't want to talk like that. Raul says, Candace has the same style all the time. Yes, you're right. But she does not want to be. There was a very profound, very, very famous law professor, philosopher named Guido Calabresi. Who was, put it this way, Candace is more Italian than this guy. Never broke into the, hey, mean, never. And that drives certain, what she's done is, not only, Candace, not only have you, this is the black contingent, and you know it's true, not only have you abnegated, completely turned your back on prototypical, stereotypical, profoundly urban, black, leftist, progressive, whatever it was, DEI, okay? You've never even, you have totally abandoned any and all, quote, leftist things. Number two, you don't have any, if anything, your race, how dare you, is not front and center. Many people, they live as a black man, as a black woman, as a black woman, as a black man, as a black woman. Everything they say is, you know who did that in the old day? Who still does it? Oprah. And that's why she was so popular. Because here's the thing. What she's doing is she's imitating most people. Most people do not think of their race as being of any consequence whatsoever, like their handedness or anything like that. Candace just says whatever it is. If the matter is race, fine, I'll talk about it. But she's not a black woman. She's not a woman. She's a thinking. She's a mother. She's a wife, whatever it is. And somewhere down this phylogenetic tree, yeah, there might be a race, but it's not. It doesn't define her. Raul says the woman from the motherland detests her. Well, it's like they consider this, like a lot of people do, is that you have not given it. You have, again, abnegate, to disown, to renounce. And it's not that way. Because what Candace is saying is, you will not define me who I am. I am who I am. I will speak the way I want to speak. Period. End of discussion. That's it. And by the way, this particular group that we're talking about, this leftist group, is not really racist left. They're not going to have anything to do with her anyway. Understand how this thing works. Understand. The black contingents have said, you are first and foremost, you are a black person. And everything about your life, everything about your style, everything about your patois, you will comport as a black American. Everything. They will talk about things up to and including the darkness of your skin, with your light skin or this and that. Say they are consumed, not all, but many are consumed by it. And it's like an anchor. It's like, would you let it go? Would you just look at this question just as a human, as an American, as a woman, whatever, but as a mother, as a father, would you use these demographics to put them aside? Oh, oh, it doesn't come up the same way your race doesn't come up in your life. You don't look at things as a white person. You look at things as an American, maybe as a conservative, maybe as a Republican. I don't know. Race is the number one thing that has been this artificial impediment, this thing that gets us in the way. It's like it has nothing to do with anything. And you know me, I love people who are able to speak eloquently. And I love people who are able to incorporate a particular style. Yes, there are some people, there are wonderful. When when Mr. George Farmer speaks, he has a British patois style. Somebody do. There were some people who had when Shelby Foote, who is absolutely eloquent, who wrote in this kind of a Virginia, Tennessee Southern. It was wonderful. It was great, but you know what I mean? That's fine. But first and foremost was perfect English. And the test is simply this: listen to what they're saying, have somebody come in like a court reporter, write it down, and then read it. And if you read it, you'll say, I don't know I don't know who this person was. This person is very articulate, but I don't know who this is. White, black, American, British, I don't know. Maybe you might want to get a word here and there. Some people use the word extraordinary over and over and over and over and over. Okay, fine, that's fine. But I guarantee you, if somebody rides here, if somebody said, I'm fin to go, that's it. Forget it. Got it. That doesn't exist. And by the way, white Southerners do too. Fixin'. She doesn't speak like that. She speaks elegantly, articulately. She speaks with a wonderful, an educated sound, a delivery, and it drives people crazy. Race keeps concepts divided. Absolutely. It's irrelevant. It's irrelevant up to and including we're talking about an issue about somebody, for example, being held back because of their race. Then we'll talk about the race but that's not it. She drives these people crazy because the left can't claim her because she's a woman. The black she's a black woman, but she's herself. She's Candace, period. And she's just. And the first time you see, sometimes it's like, listen to what she says. Listen to what she says. Better yet, read what she says. I don't know if you ever can do it. If you read what she says, read it, you'd say, this is profound. She said it. Absolutely. The original Titan says, Lionel, I remember when you couldn't do half an hour. Now you're catching up to Baron and Coach. I couldn't do a half an hour. Didn't want to do more than half an hour. Let me tell you something. You know what's interesting? But thank you for that. When you look at the watch time, it's like this. By the way, the reason why it's better to do a long time is because you get more money. It's because you're able to do spots or whatever it is. But my thing was always, but I thank you for that. But I saw a kind of a negative return. But maybe things are different now. I don't know. But I thank you nonetheless. Dr. whatever it says. On applications, they ask about your race. I always check other. Then I write American because it doesn't matter what color of skin I have. It is so important. It is so important. I would sit there if I sat and I said, okay, I'm going to work with young people, and I'm going to say the people who run the show for the most part. The people who run the show, whether you like it or not, if you want to work, maybe not, I don't know about tech, but let's say banking. They're white folks, white dudes, and they're going to take one look at you and they're going to say, okay. Now, you want to be yourself? Great. You want to be yourself? Terrific. You want to wash? You want to come in with dreadlocks? Good luck. Ain't gonna work. You want to come in with long hair? You want to be just like white folks did, kids in the 60s. You want to have long hair? Nope. Good luck. You can do it. It's a free country, but they're going to take one look at you and go, no. And all you have to do is the most important thing in the world. There's one thing and one thing only that will absolutely, positively destroy any preconceived notion. Is your speech. The style of your speech, the words you know, and the particular delivery that you have. Guarantee. Guarantee. You can walk in, you can look like, you could have, who's that guy? Flavor Flav with a clock. And if you walked in and said, that is the most profound doctrine. If he came in and said, we have reviewed your CT scans, and we believe that the tumor is operable. And I think what we're going to do is you say, well, I'll be a son of a bitch. Okay, I'll take it. It's the first thing you have. It's your calling card. That's it. Race goes out the window. The thing that stops people more than anything else is speech. And nobody wants to do it. I'm not saying abnegate, renounce your culture. I'm not saying that. I'm not saying that. But remember, there are certain things people are, and I'm not saying it should be like this. Accent. How thick is your accent? Do you have a Spanish accent? That's fine. Sometimes it can be groovy. It's weird how things work. If you have a British accent, well, that's considered intelligent. But if you sound like Javier Bardem, okay, maybe. It's the way it is. It's the way it is. I'm not. Look, do you want to know reality or not? What I'm telling you right now is what I've said the same thing about with Candace. I have assessed her for what she is. She's brilliant. I've got no dog in this fight. She's brilliant. She hits it. I know what she says is 100%. And when it comes to Charlie, it was the most important. Brian Carter says a kingdom or country divided against itself cannot stand. Their goal is to divide, and there is no power to the people. Yes, absolutely. And you got to ask yourself, and by the way, thank you, Brian. You got to ask yourself this question: why are these people trying to divide? I don't know. I am a realist. This is realism. Realist. Raul says Obama was smart to purposely speak urban patois. Well, sometimes he would, I think, but his default mechanism, same thing for Michelle, was not that. It was not that. Somebody who said one time, I've gotten into brutal discussion with people because of reality. Now, don't ever ask me, well, what do you think it should be? Oh, what should it be? Oh, a different story. As opposed to what it is? Oh, no. It's a different story. It's a different story. I said something the other day, which people got very upset about, but I know what I'm talking about. I said, there used to be a joke in our country that said, do I look fat in this? Women would say, do I look fat in this? Does this make my butt look big? Remember that? Sometimes women would wear like sweaters or things around their waist because they go like, because you were steatopygian. And by the way, steatopygia comes from certain African tribes had these very pronounced, actual buttocks that went out. You could put a tray on it. I'm not making this up. Look it up. Steatopygia. Steatopygia. And then calipygia is more shapely. But I think they had like this one particular, what are they, the certain pygmy form. It was true. It's called steatopygia. This is true. Sorry. If you talked about sickle cell, if you talked about Tay-Sachs, nobody cares about that. But if you said that. So anyway, so we were talking about this, and I said, well, that might have been the old days. But today, a very large, an adipose, dare I say, a big caboose, doesn't hold you back at all. Not at all. Doesn't hold you back. I said, it just changed. Why? There was a time when people worried so much about their midriff. There was in the summertime, you can walk around with a panis. Panis is your gut. It goes. There's a paniculus, the panis, tenter bellied is going to spare tire, beer belly. You know what I mean? Today, you've seen this. Women walking around with an umbilicus, like a belly button. It looks almost like it's going to attack you. It's not even a innie outie. It's like, it's like, what is this? No problem. No problem. Richard E. Skywalker says, hey, Lionel, first time here on your live. My mom and I enjoy watching your streams while working, and you almost remind us of actor Joe Pesci. Well, I have heard that before. The sound. Thank you for that. I've heard that. I've also heard my favorite is Curly Howard on Benzedrine. I think that's my favorite ever. Anyway, so going back to this, I said, but now it's a different story. I said, because people today do not know anything about this, because the style is, especially since post-COVID, women go to an airport and they wear basically pajamas. And remember, if your whole world is loose-fitting clothes and everybody around you wear those, the slides with the half ankle sock, that's what people. That's it. So don't worry about that. Don't worry about anything like that. Don't worry about, and arms covered and sleeved. Now, I'm telling you what I'm seeing. I'm not telling you it's good, it's bad. I don't particularly care for it. Doesn't really matter. I'm telling you this is the way it is. This is the way it is. So what I'm saying is, if you want to do this for a living, and you want to understand more than Zionism, ask yourself, why are there Zionists? Why do they believe this? Why do they think something? Not why are people moving away from Trump? Why? What changed? I've had some not heated arguments, but I've had people in the business. I said, you are a Trump apologist. You don't really believe this. You think your job is to kiss a guy's ass and whatever he does, you get along with. You don't have the balls to say, no, you're wrong. In fact, if Trump were here, he wouldn't respect you because your opinion means something, which goes back to Candace. I have no dog in this hunt. It doesn't matter. She's not paying me anything. But she is the most important voice, bar none. I've said that when Alex Jones came out. Alex Jones was the only radio show I ever listened to. I don't listen to radio. I don't listen to it. Never have. Never. I like kind of podcasts. I like newsy things, but I don't like certain formats. People thought I was nuts with him. I said, you don't understand this. This man's rewriting everything. And he did. He gave us a new vernacular, a new patois again, a new subject matter. He introduced us to globalism, to New World Order. He was revolutionary in terms of what he did. Absolutely, positively. It was that important, that critical, that. And the same thing I saw. Tucker, too. Tucker is Joe Rogan. By the way, Joe Rogan, they're coming after him now. All his friends, I don't know if you care about this. The people who are going to turn on him are those awful, stupid comedians. Comedians are lifeless, soulless people. Let me also tell you, the people to watch for. And because the people I like are not necessarily people, everybody else is going to like. But a guy who's got something I've never seen. And I love somebody who's got something that's just different. Theo Von. Theo Von is not Von, like von Richtenstein. Theo Von is incredible. Theo Von has an innocence. He can talk to anybody. When he and Drewski, Kluski, were doing He said things where if I would have said, I think somebody might have been offended, but he has an innocence. He is phenomenal. I'm telling you, watch him. And he's able to say some very, very, very important things. Tim Dillon, actually, naturally funny, preternaturally funny. There are a lot of comedians, I don't want to mention their names, they're insulting. Remember the roast that we're seeing? This is so, it's not mean. It's like, it's just not even, what is this? There was a time when you did a roast, when you had people like Rickles and others. I know it was old fashioned, but it was funny. It was clever. It's not funny and clever anymore. And we're also seeing something that automatically, whenever you see a female comedian, what do you see? Slut, skank, sexual, deviant. She has to be one of the guys. And she can't observe anything in life. It's got to be, I did a period, and this, I broke up, I'm getting old, I got stretch marks, whatever it is. Like, what is this? Why are you doing this? Just like, for the most part, it's nice to see somebody who, say which one about Bill Cosby, his whole thing was, I'm not black. He talked about kids and family. There's something rare about somebody who eliminates and eschews the obvious and goes for something that nobody else has talked about. Chappelle too is going into that. He's like Chappelle now. That guy, that young man, was a genius. I never saw anything like this ever. It was brilliant. I mean, not only was it funny, but it was, you just like, that is so brave, that is so important, that's so critical. And then, you know who is the saddest of them all? Bill Maher. Bill Maher reminds me of Megyn Kelly. She's trying to find something. Megyn says, I don't know what I'm trying to do here. Did you ever play blind man's bluff when you were a kid with a, you're walking around. Is this funny? Is this funny? Tell me. Bill Maher, am I funny? Bill Maher never reads. Bill Maher finds himself witty. He wants to be the wittiest. I don't know what it is. He's also a weirdo. He's a freak too. This guy's a strange dude, but he's not. Going back to Candace. Candace connects with you. You know who's great too? Theo, and the country singer Ella. What's her name? Ella Fitzgerald. No, the young comedian. This young lady. What is her name? Ella. Yeah, her name is Ella. You know what I'm talking about? What is her name? Ella Langley. Ella. She's a country singer. She's with Theo's buddy. They're like, you can tell they have this magic. Ella Langley, yes, phenomenal. She is. I want to listen to her sing because of who she is. She is self-deprecating. She seems like generally the nicest person. You see how it comes through? You see how, you know who did that in the old days? Dolly Parton. People like Dolly Parton's a great singer. Dolly Parton's a great guitar player. Great. But bluegrass, phenomenal. But, she had her thing. You see what's happening? You see what I'm saying? She's got it. Ella's got it. Theo, that would be something. And you know who else has got it? Candace. And it scares. And the problem is when the Laura Loomers, they say, Laura, you don't have it. Your whole thing is you're just going to be a prick. Can a woman be a prick? Anyway, this is funny. She's an asshole. No, you don't call a woman an asshole. You call her a bitch. What? It's funny how we have these things. No, you can't call her a dick. No, that's for a man. Call her a bitch. Bitch is all encompassing. Or the other word, which you do. But that's the thing that, and when Candace comes back, oh my God. Oh, now she said she'd come on the show. That would be, see, but what I like to do is I'm going to sit back and say, do this. So far, I haven't seen anything where it's like, where she shouldn't do it. Like she's not, like Dave Smith was so good, but then he got so serious. Our love, I guess, says, do you think there any chance that Candace could get any intel from the Russian government? What happened to Charlie? Love your show, Lionel. Oh, absolutely. 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 Love you. No. Oh, yes, 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 yes. Here's why. The intel people all know each other. Five Eyes, and not Five Guys, but was it, oh, absolutely. Oh, there's somebody who could say, and you don't need to go to, Five Eyes is, of course, Australia, Canada, New Zealand, and United Kingdom, and the U.S. That's the spy. Five Eyes. I said that already. Somebody says, Five Guys? No, that's the burger joint. Oh, absolutely. And you know why they would want to do it? You know why they would want to do it? They would want to do it because, especially if they can show that, hey, guess what? You did it. And if there is any chance, I better find out. And so far, there's no evidence of this that I know of. What the hell does that mean? Why would I know? But there is no evidence that it was Israel in any way whatsoever. I know people worry on they suspect. Suspicion is one thing, proof is another. Because that would be one of the stupidest things anybody's ever done. I mean, that is so stupid. Because Charlie did not pose an existential threat to you. But then you, like anything else, it's like they created a monster with, all they had to do was ignore Candace. But they couldn't do that. But if it were something like that were to come up, and you know exactly, you know somebody, and you know Putin, by the way, Putin is never going to say anything like, hey, listen, can I talk to you for a minute? No, somebody will talk to her. It'll be a matter of, now listen, you didn't hear it from me, but follow this. And don't tell anybody that we told you because you're not going to believe it. See, one of the greatest, you don't understand. Man, of course, I shouldn't say that. Does anybody here remember when Boris and Natasha came out? Bullwinkle was one of the smartest TV, it's one of the best cartoons. It was so smart. It was really smart. And now what do you got? Beavis and Butthead? Well, later on. We had some of the smartest stuff ever. Green Acres was so genius, it wasn't even funny. It seemed like a kid show, but it wasn't. Anyway, we were told that the Russians are evil. The Russians are evil. Why? Because this was a different mindset. This was a country that was, after the revolution, it went through how many revolutions? The 20th century, what, 3 revolutions? There was 1917, there was 1991, and then there was a civil war. They kept you. Understand the way these people think. So to answer your question, you better believe it. You better believe it. You better believe it. I know people, there are more people who have more intel ops than you can imagine. I knew a guy, still do. This was a guy who was so connected. Raul says, can Candace become a Russian ambassador? No. She could be, but say, no, you don't want that? No, they don't want that either. What are you going to do? Like what? You're going to be like, what, Kimberly Guilfoyle in Greece? What, are you kidding me? No way. No. That's a good question, though. Raul's got a good question. But no. I mean, she could, but these folks, say a friend of mine, in Tampa, where there was a big Cuban community, and of course in Miami. So when all of a sudden there would be, I knew a guy who all of a sudden somebody would come, and he's a lawyer, and there'd be this Cuban guy, and he's brand new. He's here. He sneaks in or whatever it was, and he goes to the local community, and they say, listen, go talk to this lawyer. He's Cuban. He can speak Spanish, and he knows you're. Next thing you know, he gets a knock on the door, and it's FBI, CIA, State Department, all this stuff. See, State Department is a big deal. Remember in the old days, during the Ivy League, Harvard went State Department, but Yale went Intel. It's a different, but State Department, Intel, same thing. Iraq, they're different. Zaman says, Charlie stopped the Iran war. No, he didn't, because we still had it. Charlie, I don't think anybody had any, and thank you, by the way, kind Zamet. 1969. 69. You know what's the square root of 69? 8 something. Remember that? A terrible joke. They didn't have to kill Charlie. They didn't have to kill Charlie. Charlie was big, but not that big. Charlie was, no. Anybody, that's why I can't believe Israel would be that stupid. Somebody would say, no, don't make a martyr out of him. No, don't, no, stop it. Not only that, don't do something like that in front of a bunch of people. If you're going to do it, just get rid of them. Don't make a statement. That's the what is it? Mossad assassin Keaton. Remember these people? They were called a Kidon. Kidon, Kidon, is Hebrew for bayonet or tip of the spear. It's the elite clandestine assassination unit within Israel's Mossad, operating under the direct authorization of the prime minister. The unit is responsible for targeted operations and high-stakes missions against perceived enemies of the state. Kidon. So these are very smart people. And it would be absolutely ridiculous. Oh, look at this. Look at Livia. Livia, bless her heart, gifted 10 memberships. Bless your heart. Thank you for that. Charlie unleashed Candace Owens. Yeah. You're right about that. Inadvertently. But that's would have been unnecessary. It's like, why are you doing that? Why would you want to even remotely do this? Why? Pete, you're how do I say this? Look at this. Wow, singing a new tune. You've been linking Israel to Charlie's death for half a year now. No, I haven't. There's no evidence of this. It doesn't make any sense. No, I haven't. Excuse me. I've always said it doesn't make any sense. It doesn't. Put it this way. If you're going to do it, then just get rid of him. But don't make it look like you're going to. And by the way, the reason, if I met with Bibi, I'm going to say your problem is going to be that you've got to explain the exploding microphone theory. The hypothesis is something that's been advanced, and if you continue with this, if you don't do something, because remember, your claim to fame was the beepers and all this other kind of stuff. That's right up your alley. That's right up your alley. But you would have also risked hurting somebody else, killing an innocent person, and you didn't have to do that. That doesn't make any. There's no purpose of this. You could have just as easily if you just wanted to make him stop, but this is teaching him a lesson. Why would you do this? It doesn't. And then again, but there's clearly something there. You do realize it wasn't a rifle. It wasn't usual. It wasn't that Mauser 98. It wasn't Tyler. It was something that is not usually seen by anybody. This was pretty good stuff. Without us even knowing anything. We have not even seen the results yet from the MEs. We don't know what they found. Metal fragments, plastic, I don't know what. So still, I'm kind of in the dark. I've got too much stuff here. Too much stuff. The public relations of Israel in this country. Remember, when I tell people this, they don't understand this. I am not anti anything. I'm looking at Israel the way I would France or anybody else as a country, as your strategy. What are you doing? What are you doing? Some of the stuff they've done, the way the Church of the Holy Sepulchre. Let me tell you something. You've got to understand how this works. If you go to Israel, I'm telling you, I don't care if you are a Christian, hard Christian, atheist, Jew, walk into the Church of the Holy Sepulchre in Jerusalem. the Via Dolorosa, where Jesus walked, but walk into there, and you see people. You see the Eastern Europe, Eastern Orthodox, these Coptic. Have you seen? Oh, the Coptic Christians and Catholics are. They're not Roman. Remember, Roman Catholic. These are Coptic. They've got the beards and the big. It's like they look like somebody from Harry Potter. Who's that big guy with the beard and the? It's wild. You say, who are these people? Those are the Coptic. That's Eastern Rite. There's blah blah blah. But you will walk in there, and I'm telling you, I can only describe it as this. I do not believe I'm not spiritual the way you are. However, there are things that humans emit that are bigger. Hang on a minute. Gotta get a hold of Mrs. L just a minute. There are things that are bigger than all of us. And when you walk in, you will feel an energy. I know that's a corny word, but it's this. First of all, it's solemn. It smells old. There are parts underneath where you can go dark, deep under Jerusalem, where you have these tunnels, and the guide will say, "Okay, this is now the Romans," and you smell. We're going down deeper, and it smells moldy, and like a basement smells. It's just, and when you walk in there, and there are people who are just, this is the tomb of Jesus the Christ. I don't care what you believe in anything. Try finding some other place like this on the face of the earth. Try it. Good luck. Have a nice day. Have a nice day. It is something that, so that's why when it comes to religion, you got to really understand something. What they have done to Christians, or what is perceived to have been done, is so ridiculous. It's a PR nightmare. Another thing that she's doing, which is very important. This is Candace. There is a move in this country, a spiritual yearning, especially young people who want to believe in something. And the more order, the more structure, the more tradition, the better it is. And what they are doing is they believe, okay, got to meet my wife. Nothing personal. But they love this. And they need this. And they demand this. And she is providing this. Okay? That's all I'm saying. Anyway, dear friends, I love you. And now we're in 48. That's pretty good. Thank you for spending time with me today. Thank you as we discussed every interstitial aspect of the magnanimity, this colossus called Candace Owens. I'm serious. I mean it. And it's that I think it's one of the best descriptors that one can imagine, because what we're seeing here, this is I don't know when we've seen this in a long time. Brian Carter says, keep asking questions. Charlie Kirk, they expected us to accept the narrative and not keep asking questions. Yes, after JFK and Jeffrey Epps, it seems it leaves them with a problem of too many coincidences. Truth has raised its ugly head on them. Absolutely. Thank you. Now, by the by, tonight, I've been doing some of these podcasts like at 10, because this week we had various things with my wife and I. And it was like wild. It was like this crazy. So don't be surprised if, just remember, Stay tuned. Stay tuned here. Make sure you like the video, which is very important. Make sure you hit that little bell so you're notified of live streams and new videos. And also make sure of the fact that you are subscribed, because that's the way it is. We have a very unique group of people. I think all of us are based, many of us, we've come together kind of from different climes, and all I think I've asked and you've asked is that just let common sense rule. Common sense and logic. Dog's Nose says, what is symbolism of golden pager to our president? Oh, that. A warning? President just got married. Daughter of Epstein banker in the late 90s and early 2000s. Comment, please. Great stream. Thank you. Oh, it's funny you say that. Before you jump too much on the Epstein connection, he was connected with everything. He was a part of a group of people that were also, Zamet rather says, truth has become critical mass. Yes, absolutely. But by the way, going back, Epstein was a part of this globalist money laundering credit group of people. They were the ones responsible for people like, believe it or not, Adnan Khashoggi, weapons trafficking. He was. And don't forget too, Bill Barr's father, who hooks him up at the Dalton School when he didn't even graduate from college. Oh, no. That was levels and layers. Her, whatever her name is, Bettina, whatever her name is, her father, whatever. It's not that he was connected with Epstein, is that he was connected with people that Epstein was connected with. That's important. What a great topic. And I give you this hand farts for all of you. All right, dear friends. Thank you. We'll see you tonight, about 10-ish, maybe. Don't be surprised. But this is great. And Candace, we are so immensely proud of you. She's it. She is it. And I think all of us will say that we are proud of her. But we love her, not as a human being. I mean, I'm sure she's just as real in person as she appears to be on the screen, on the camera. But I think there's something, but it's what she stands for. In any event, dear friends, I love you. Please follow Mrs. L at Lynn's Warriors. So important that you do this. She thanks you for that. And you have been so kind to her and to me. You have no idea how much I love you. Profoundly. Remember, I'm the best friend there is. I'm the best friend there is. I overlook a lot of stuff. And I swear to you, if there's something good about you, you can get away with murder up to a point. But sometimes I have to remind people of how good they are, because sometimes people don't realize and don't recognize the greatness within themselves, because they've been taught for the longest time because of feelings of inadequacy. And, well, we'll talk about that later. Anyway, have a great and glorious day. We love you. Don't forget, Monkey's dead. Show's over. Sue ya. Dad.